Okay. All right. This is weird. I think this is working. This is weird. Okay. I think this is working. This is weird. Okay. Hello, guys. This is Crazy Canuck 1985 here, and a couple people have been asking if I could do a little tutorial about course design. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just kind of going to go through my process, and yeah, I'll throw this up on YouTube after as well. So I'll just kind of go through my process of designing a course, and my thought process. I'll try to talk you through it, and people do it very differently. So my way has been giving me pretty good results lately. So just it's all a matter of how you guys like to do it. So to do this, we're going to be working on my new course. This is, well, right now working title is Orchid Trail Golf and Country Club. So yeah, this is my new work in progress. I've got 9 holes done. I'm, for the most part, pretty happy with how it's turning out. It's kind of it's a countryside look with quite a few lakes. And then I've got, well, I'm still kind of just playing around with some things. I kind of like, this is going to be my 18th green. I'm going to have a nice clubhouse view with I like that. But, I'm playing with some low lighting here. A lot of people ask when you should really lock in your lighting. My lighting is changing all the time. But this course, I feel like pretty early I locked in the lighting I want. And it's just a matter of playing around with it, and especially when you're playing with the low lighting, you're gonna have some stunning holes. Like I like number 1 here, and 2 plays nice. I'll play these holes a little bit later, and 3 is nice. But then once you turn it around, you're now against the sun, and the holes play a little bit darker. They're not as pretty looking. But with these, I feel in terms of beauty, you really got to amp up. It's still got to look nice. So, I've put a bunch of effort in the planting here off the tee. I added this little island that people can go to. I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep that or not. And then yeah, I try to put as many holes into the sun as I can. Like this is my favorite hole, number 5. I'll play it in a little bit. So it's all it's tough to get the lighting down. So really the lighting is something, don't concern yourself too much until the end. Okay, so I'm going to start from scratch here. Again, I don't really have a huge ton of ideas in mind for this hole. People wonder oh, well, do you have is it all planned out? Is it drawn out? Honestly, some people do. I don't. I just it's kind of whatever pops into my mind. Wonder oh, well. So we're just gonna see how this is gonna look. Like right now, I've set it to, there's just heavy rough, tee box, and a small green. So no auto generation at all. And I'll show you where I start. And I always start, for some reason I start with my green. I don't know why, but I like to flesh out my green a little bit. So this is going to be a 3-shot par 5. I'm kind of looking for a fairly straight on. I haven't done anything with elevation yet. I'm kind of thinking it's going to start, because we're raised up a little bit. I might drop down the, no, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to drop down the elevation a bit. Just not drastic, soft brush here. Not going to worry about 11 too much. So I'm just going to drop down about this much. Not a ton. Don't want any water to show. Let's see how that looks. Okay. So we're going to have a downhill approach in. So that's a good starting point. I like that. So again, it's you start off by saying, well, how am I going to turn this into a nice hole? But you just work with it, and things start coming together. So anyway, I'll show you some techniques I do. So for laying green, again, this green's way too small, so I'm going to mix that up. In terms of shapes of greens, I like to, mix up my shapes. Sometimes create a combination of 2 different shapes, but other times, you know what, I like the green shapes on here, so I try to stray. I don't tend to stray too far away from these main shapes. I just kind of like them. I don't think I've used this shape, and I think I want it a soft edge like this to kind of feed in. I have a back pin placement, I think. So we're going to lay that down. There we go. And I like to have a little layer of fairway around my green. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I always do 4 clicks. And then I layer it with some rough. Now, I don't do this on all greens. Sometimes I'll have a bigger fairway area around the green, but I think I'm just going to have a green like this. Okay. So there's my green. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten that. And I'm going to use the same shape I created my green with. Which I passed, I think. Yeah, right here. Okay, so I'm going to try to line it up. It's funny with the greens. It's the first thing I do, but then contouring it is pretty much the last thing I do. So after I've created the green, I pretty much ignore it for a little bit. So there, it's flat. I'm just going to raise it up a touch. Just a touch. Okay. So that's okay for now. Now, this is obviously at the front of the green is not going to work. So we got to flatten some of this up out a little bit. And again, the soft brushes are your friend. Do not do much contouring work with those hard brushes, because you're not going to get a good look. It's going to look choppy. Okay, so let's do that. Again, I'm not paying too much attention to the green right now. I'm going to come back to it. I'll lower this a little bit. I want to have a nice view of this green here. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so that's a good starting point. Again, it's not even near done, but at least we've got a green laid down. Now, my next step, what I like to do, actually before I do that, is this heavy rough width. I put all the way down to 0. And that's going to create some bushes and stuff in the way, which is fine. Kind of gives me a bit of an idea. When you're designing, use the land to your advantage. Don't try to force a hole. Okay, don't sculpt it overly too much, because then it just looks unnatural. Like here, I'm going to use these hills. Okay, I'm going to do some flattening here and there, and some raising here and there, but for the most part, I'm just going to use the elevation that it gave me. So, Next thing I do, I don't lay fairway next. I lay my bunkers next. So I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do. So it's going to be a 3-shot, possibly a 2-shot par 5. Now, I thought I had an idea, but now I don't. So where was the balls? The ball's going to land around here, 270, 280, somewhere in here. Okay, so I think I'm going to split the fairway here, so it's not going to go. Yeah, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with a bunker. Now, bunker shapes. Around the green, I like to stick to more of the stock shapes, but you know what? In this case, I'm going to make a little bit of a kind of a funky looking bunker here. And this is kind of, I'm going to combine. I like just using the same shape and putting it in different combinations. So I like this shape. It's one of my favorite ones to use. I'm just going to, I don't really have any shape set in mind, but I'm going to just play around with it. And if I like it, I like it. If I don't, just delete it and I start again. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to have it coming in a little bit towards the center of the green. There we go. This works. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's see about the bunker. Yeah, that's a good bunker, I think. I'm going to put a bunker at the back, too, because if people are going to go for it in 2, 3-wood might, head over the green, and maybe we'll have a nice bunker to catch it. Now, shapes of this bunker at the back. Or I might have a couple small ones. I'm trying to think what I want to do here. Yeah, let's try this. A lot of this design is trial and error for me. So I'll go and say, oh, that looks good. That doesn't look good. Mix some things up. It's a lot of experimenting. So, yeah, I don't really like that look. I think I need a longer bunker at the back of the green there. Let's try that again. So, oh, I don't know. So yeah, again, if you're watching, any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll answer them. I'll show you some things. If you have tips for me, I'd appreciate that too. Okay, let's do something like this. Yeah. I think I want to use this ridge here. Something like that. And then I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit. Just in this area here. Lower that down a touch. I'm going to create a bunker on the side here. Yeah, I like this. Okay. See, you can kind of, I don't know, I just kind of, the ideas sometimes start to flow. Sometimes they trickle, sometimes they flow. It all depends. Lately on this course, they've been trickling, but, this is my first attempt at a countryside theme. I'm a little out of my comfort zone. Okay, let's see. That looks okay. Again, this can always be altered once we start laying down the fairway. So that'll work for greenside bunkers. Now again, it's a long par 5. So some people might be just short. So I'm thinking of maybe putting a bunker maybe 50 yards out for a series of bunkers. Maybe I'll make like a little complex of bunkers. Just some kind of small, simple shaped bunkers around here. So I'm not doing anything with the depth of the elevation yet. That'll happen in due time. Let's see. like that. Okay, I like this. And that. Yeah, so right now I'm just laying the bunkers where I kind of want them. I like that look. Okay, and now I want to do something around the landing area. Question is what? A little stumped here. I think I could. Well, let's just try something here. So yeah, bunkers they can really make or break your course, I feel. If you're really good with bunkers, you can make your course stand out and be fantastic. Sometimes a course with a lot of bunkers, if they're done well, are just amazing. But if you're struggling with bunkers, it really affects the look of your course. So it can be your best friend, or it can be your worst enemy. Okay, I like this. That's interesting. Maybe I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of bring it around this way. I think I'm gonna use that hill. Yeah. Okay, so that's good for now. I might add some more bunkers in a bit. Now I'm gonna go to land the fairway, and probably my least favorite part. But if you want to do this properly, I'll show you the bunker shapes I use. A lot of people get into this habit is they use these shapes, which, they're good for laying down a lot of bunkers fast. But, see how jagged it is? And if you put a whole bunch of those down in a row, you're going to get a real jagged look to your fairway. So, it's something you want to, I don't know. I used to use that shape all the time, but, I started looking and I was like, oh, it's not smooth. So I try to stay away from this. Oh, first question here, Redemption. What's your rationale in planting down bunkers first? I like to get an overall shape of what my hole's going to look like, and I feel that laying down fairway kind of traps me a little bit. I don't know, if I put down bunkers first, now I can kind of see the shape of my fairway laying out. Whereas if I lay down my fairway first, I feel like I limit my creativity with my bunkers. I don't know if that makes sense. But let's just see what we can do here. So I'll show you my favorite shapes for bunkering. Or for not bunkering, for fairways. So basically any of these shapes are nice. That shape's good if you want a fatter shape. These ones I don't really like. I like this guy. The bean here. I like to call him the bean. He's good. This one's nice because it's got a nice straight edge to it. Same with this one's pretty straight. So, there's a lot of different shapes here. And when you're doing it, I'll show you what I do here. This is kind of... So I try to line it up so I don't have any sharp edges. So let's just start like this. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by sharp edge. 1, 2... Now when I'm laying... Some people like a thicker band of light rough. I prefer the real thin band, and I do 4 clicks, and that's the length of my rough. Some people think that's maybe a bit unfair, but I prefer the heavy rough. I think it's a bit more of a challenge, and it's a bit more of a reward for you to stay on the fairway. So that's my kind of rationale why I do that. It's not necessarily the only way to do it, but that's just my way. Okay, so I'm going to lower this a little bit. Okay, see that edge here is a little bit sharp, but it's not. Actually that is sharp. That's a sharp. I want to round that out a bit. So in order to round it out, I just pick. I'll show you my favorite one to kind of fix it. Usually it's this one, the bean, and I just try to line them up, and I'm going to cut off some of that. like so. There. And then again, 4 clicks of rough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you see how that's a little bit smoother, although now here it's a little bit sharp. So I'm going to use just a straight edge. And there we go. There. That's better. At least I think. But, you know, some people like a bit sharper look. Okay, there we go. So now we can continue our fairway. So I'm gonna, so it's gonna be fairly straight coming up the hill here. And then I'm gonna swing it around that bunker. And then, you know, it's gonna take a little bit, but it actually doesn't take too long. So I just mix up my shapes. I try to line them up as best as I possibly can to avoid those sharp edges. Like you can make them fairly large. Like here, I'll show you. This will probably end up making a sharp edge on the left. A little bit. So that's okay. I still do my 4, 2, 3. This part I hate the most because it's the most tedious. Okay. So see here, it's kind of a pretty sharp edge there. But that's an easy fix. I'm going to round it off a little bit. With this guy. No, not that guy. This guy. Just round it out a bit. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'll show you another thing. See how my light rough is kind of dipped in to my bunker a little bit? It's very minor, but it annoys me. So my fix there is I just move this part of the bunker just over slightly. It might change the shape a bit, but you know, that's not a big deal. There, that's better. Okay, let's keep going with the fairway here. So let's try shape like this. Okay, well we're going straight this way. So you know it's a bit slow. You basically are laying down maybe 40 or 50 yards at a time, but it's a clean look, I think. Okay, so I like to mix up my shapes here. I'm going to use this guy now. This fairly straight edge. No. There we go. I like this guy. I'm going to get a little bit fatter, the fairway, which is fine. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're moving along here. So I'm going to start turning it a little bit left. I'm just playing with looking at the shape of the land. I'm letting the land do the work for me here. Because that's a nice little natural hill there, which I like. So if people are in that bunker, they're going to have a bit of a blind shot. A little extra punishment for being in that fairway bunker. Okay. Do a straight edge here. There we go. That should work out okay. So right now, you know, it's not looking like much. But my favorite part, which I saved to near the end, is planting. I love planting now. Just planting, you know, trees and stuff. So I've got it bordering my first hole. Well, this is actually going to look really nice, I think. Okay, so I want a bit of a curve. Now I got to be careful here, because I don't want it to intersect my first hole. Okay. No, I don't like that shape. Let's see here. Let's try that. That should line up nicely. Yep. Okay. It's a pretty wide fairway. That's kind of what I want here. Okay, so we're almost done. Like, basically the landing area is going to be around here. I think I'm just going to have that solitary fairway bunker there. Now see how I've dipped into the light rough is kind of touching the bunker again? So I could go back and delete it, but that's, I don't know, it's just easier to move the bunker a bit. Let's see, is that better? That's better. Okay. Now I've also thought about, considering I've got so much water over here, I'm going to put in a huge lake right here. But we'll see. I get a little bit of, I tend to switch from one task to another pretty quickly, but for the sake of this video, I want to show you my steps. So I do the green first, then I do the bunkers, now I'm laying the fairway. Okay, so the fairway is going to come, it's going to start bending back this way. I don't want it too close to the first hole. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I must have planted those by hand. Gotta get rid of those. So again, 4 clicks is good for me. Okay, I'm gonna move these. Don't want those on the fairway. That tree is also much too close to my fairway here. I'm just gonna move everything down. Ooh, I just realized I got a bunch of flowers there too. Crap. Oh well. Luckily the multi-delete tool will help me out here. There we go. That's a little bit better. I like to hide my tree trunks, but I'll talk to you a little bit more about that when I do my planting, which will be soon. Okay, now I gotta delete all these flowers. Multi-select. Delete, delete. Get rid of these fairway. Oh no, I extended. Okay, gotta get rid of all this crap. This is a bit of a mistake here, putting this fairway out this wide, because now I gotta delete a bunch of stuff. But it's not terrible. Okay. Almost done. This guy, this guy, this guy. Super exciting. There. And we're almost done. This. Don't want these too close. Still one more. Okay, that's good for now. Yep. What the hell is that? Look at this. Whoa. That's weird. It's like an invisible tree. Whoa. Okay, haven't seen that before. Let's just pretend that's not there. What the hell is that? Didn't put a tree there. Oh well. Whatever. Okay. So we're almost... That's weird. Anyway. Not much more fairway. You don't want to extend it all the way. I want to have a bit of a... some rough in between the fairway here. So Yeah. There. That tree is obviously going to go. Okay. I think I'm liking the look of this so far. Okay, delete this. That's gone. Okay. So, also, right now, the line is off, so I'm going to move it over here a bit. There we go. So that'll be the look. Perfect. Okay. So, fairways are done. Right now, we're still very... That is so weird, that tree there. Never seen that before. That's trippy. It's like a ghost tree. Anyway, just assume it's not there. Okay. So bunkers have been laid. Yeah, Banjo, the nice invisible tree glitch. You've had that too, eh? That's really weird. That's the first time I've seen it. Trippy. Anyway. Okay, so I started off with the green, laid that down, flattened it. Then I did bunkers, and then I laid the fairway. Just gives me a little bit more creativity. And again, use these hills to your advantage. Okay, try to, build around. Like, I lowered the green, but that's all I've really done in terms of elevation so far. I'm going to be doing more in terms of eliminating blind shots here and there, but we'll save that for a little later. Now, my next step. It used to be my least favorite step. Now it's one of my favorite steps. Bunkering. Now, bunkering is tough. I'm still working on my bunkering skills, but I've learned a few techniques. Some people have different techniques for different ways. I'll show you what I use. This tool here, right here, the first one, this little round, soft one. And basically, I just get into the corners and I just lower a touch, like 0.3, 0.4, not a ton. Okay, you can do. I just go through a little bit at a time, and it just kind of creates some nice texture to the bunker. Yeah, it's looking okay right now. This needs to be lowered a touch. So it's going to be, I don't like to have it super uniform everywhere. Okay. But even though you do the inside of the bunker, you gotta also be cognizant of the lip of the bunker. Okay. So this one's pretty much done on the inside. So that looks quite a bit better. And now I want to raise up a few lips, like this. Some people lift and then flatten it. Like, I don't know, let's try that. Lift and flatten. Oops. No, that's a good look too. But I just like doing a little, just a touch, not doing a ton here. Okay. Well, like, that looks pretty good for now. So yeah, this tool just basically does everything for you. I use this tool for 90% of my bunkering. Okay, I'm going to lower it a little bit here too, so I can see a lot of my bunker. That's the thing, a lot of people do really good jobs with their bunkers and then hide them, which you don't want. I get rid of these stupid rocks, I hate them. Go away. Be gone with you, rocks. Alright, so there's one bunker. I don't know if I'm fully satisfied with it yet. Let's raise up a little bit here, this part. Sure. Okay. Now, next we wanted to get in, we'll do these bunkers at the back. Again, I could just use that shape that it came with, that original shape, but I don't know. I'll just do the same method. Might be stupid to do, but oh well. I find I don't like these bunkers as much. I like the funky shaped bunkers. Okay, let's give it a little bit. This one doesn't need too much help. That's okay, I think, for now. Okay. And now we're gonna do this with this bunker. So yeah, feel free to ask questions, guys. I got a few people watching now. If you got any questions about the design process or how you design or any tips you want to give me, or let me know. Okay. So just working on these bunkers. See, just I do a little bit at a time, and I'm not going down a ton, just a touch. Okay. I don't know if I really like this bunker too much. It needs some work. I'll raise this up a bit. Need some help with the lip here. That's good for now. Yeah, okay. Okay, now these little guys. I may not spend as long as some people do on bunkers. In fact, I know I don't. You know, you could use just the stock shape and lower it. That's what I used to do. But, you know, I'm always trying out new methods. There we go. See how they've gone from flat to, you know, they just got a bit more texture. They just look a little nicer. This really helps, I think. You don't want those flat, boring bunkers. You want a little oomph to them. Okay, we're almost done. Okay. This one's a little flat still. There. We're going to get rid of all those plants and stuff eventually. Okay, so that's good for those green side bunkers for now. They look all right. Okay, now I'm going to get in and work on this one. Now this one's pretty undulated right now, so I'm going to start by flattening it, which seems weird. But it just makes it a bit easier to contour. So let's just do this. Okay. I like that hill. I don't want to get rid of that hill. Let's raise it up a touch. Okay. And just as a quicker method, maybe just to select flatten, then without adjusting your depth, selecting. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Let's try that. So let's try Banjo's method here. I'm always up for new options here. Let's raise it like that. And then we'll just go around and touch it up a bit. Creating a bit deeper effect than I want here. I don't know, I think I need a little more practice with that method. I'm gonna just stick with this method for now. But I think that might be a good idea, Banjo. But I think I'm just gonna do this for now. You guys do that too? Might be something I have to try, because this method takes a little while. Let's try to make it a little bit bigger. Just pick this up a bit. Okay. So yeah, the fairway bunkers I'm not making overly deep. I just like how it creates, little shadows. I don't know. I like to have the bunker at slightly different depths. And I'll raise this, or lower this, I mean. Okay, it's alright for now. I'll raise up the lip a bit. Redemption, I just flatten the entire bunker using the same shape, and I've been using the soft brush to flatten them up. Yeah, that's another good technique. That's what I was doing a little bit as well. So yeah, there's no right way to do it, I think. It's just, whatever works best for you. And I've just kind of started using this method, I don't know, a little while ago, and I don't know, I feel like I have more control over the bunkers a bit. But I don't know if it's maybe the most efficient technique. Probably isn't. Okay, I think that bunker's pretty much good to go. Alright, so bunkers are contoured. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to go throughout the fairway and I want to flatten some areas. So like for example right here. See how this is like way down the hill? That's way too sloped. So we got to go around and I'm going to flatten those trouble spots. Now you don't have to hit them all, and they don't have to be totally flat. But, I just kind of go along and, just flatten the areas that I think need to be flattened a bit. This is my favorite tool to use for this. Let me make it a bit bigger. It doesn't take as long. So, you can still create hills and stuff, but I just don't like how it's on such an angle like that. Like this is a real trouble area here. I'm going to flatten all this out. Okay, let's just turn around and see what we've done. So we saw what we had. Now it looks like this. To me, I think that looks much better. Okay, as opposed to like that. This versus that. I don't know, night and day to me, but other people might think differently. So again, this is not my favorite part of the design process. It's kind of tedious, but it's kind of necessary if you want to get that real polished look. My favorite part is coming up when we work with the contouring and the planting. That's my favorite part. Ooh, I flattened that a little bit too much. See, Undo is my favorite button. Undo is my favorite button as well. Okay, so yeah, you gotta do these kind of boring, basic things before you can get on to the fun stuff. Because right now, this is not a very exciting hole. But, when I do this, it's super tedious, but it gives me a chance to, really think about what I want to do. So here looks fine, looks fine, looks fine, looks fine, looks fine, and then here I gotta start flattening a bit. Almost done here. It doesn't have to be perfect, again, it doesn't have to be completely flat. But, I compare it to, imagine you're a groundskeeper on this course. You can't mow with such a sharp angle, right? Like this angle here. Like that's just a bit too steep. It's not bad. Actually, that's probably passable. But, I'm still going to make it so, see, there's a little bit of turn in it, but it's nice. It's a little bit flatter. Yeah, let's go all the way through. Especially around your bunkers, you want to make sure you're Got that locked down. Okay, we're almost done, and then we're going to hit to the fun part. At least for me. Okay, that looks good. This needs to be flattened a bit. Flatten. Sometimes I get lazy near the end and just make it really big and just flatten a bunch. But you don't want to flatten it too much. You don't want your course to look too flat. Redemption, been working on a course for a while. You almost done? Okay. Okay. There, we're done the boring parts. So now we've got a pretty good outline. Probably finish it up. Send it to me to tell me my faults. I don't just tell you your faults. I tell you the good things you do too. Things, people can improve on. I don't want to put people down. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to do is the fun part, is we're going to start doing some planting and some elevation work. But first, sometimes if I'm running out of ideas, I like to go back and play some of my holes that I've already created. So, you guys are going to get a sneak peek at what I've got so far. So I'm going to play a few holes, just kind of start getting a feel and get into a flow. And then I find the ideas just start coming to me a little bit better. Okay, so first hole here. I like my first hole. I honestly think I started out pretty strong with this course, and then I don't know, 7, 8, and 9. I still need some work. I'm not going to show you those ones. Okay, so up the hill. .94. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. This kind of just helps me with the feel. You do a lot of play testing. At least I do a lot of play testing. That was a horrible putt. Ooh. That's better. So there's my first hole. Let me know what you guys think of what I got so far. Much appreciate your feedback. Okay, here's number 2. Sweeping down the hill. Quite like this hole. Okay. That works. I'm hoping they put in the feature soon where you can adjust the winds while you're practicing, or while you're designing, rather than going offline, and it's a pain in the butt. And people with consoles can't even do it. So hopefully they get that sorted in the game pretty soon. Thanks, Redemption. Yeah, like I said, the lighting is, it can look great on some holes, and then other holes it suffers when you're doing this lower lighting. So, like my first 3 holes really benefit from the lighting. My next hole is par 3, which, it works really nicely. Although, I might have to get rid of some trees here. It's a bit too shady, that green. We'll see. This is a tough one. Long par 3. Very long par 3. Stop. So yeah, my course play is a little fast. Like medium, I say I've got medium fast greens right now. Boreal is a pretty solid theme. I would like to see some of these hardwood trees. Yeah, I would like to see the trees switch over too. Okay, so here's my fourth hole. Again, with the lighting, I'm going back into the or I'm going with the sun now. So now the views aren't as nice. So you kind of you want to make up for it with, some nice looking things on this hole. I got the little gazebo and I got a little island there on my lake. This is going to be my toughest shot. Like with a wind, this is going to be a very tough tee shot. But for now, like, I don't know, I might go back to this hole. This drive might be a little too tough. But we'll see. We will see. Okay. So yeah, it's just again going through, trying to get some ideas. You don't want your course to look too different from your other holes. Okay. Kind of put in those big boulders. If anyone played my last course, you saw I started to get obsessed with boulders. They're starting to come back a little bit on this course. I've got a few here and there. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're going to my favorite hole. Short par 4. I think I did a nice job with this hole. So you could go for it in 1. So this will tempt depending on the wind, some people will get here in 1. I've gone with kind of a nice clean look around my water, no planting around it or anything, just a clean look. Yeah, we'll see how it works. I could hit 5 wood, but it's close, but you can make it. At least I've been making it during practice here. Barely. Ooh, look at this. Yeah, with the vegetation around the boulders, that's what I'm kind of... If you just have a rock just sticking out, it's kind of an eyesore, so you want some kind of more natural planting around it. Okay. So yeah, I like that hole. It's probably my favorite. Okay, 6. Again, I did another boulder there on the left. Straight away, kind of bordering the lake here. Quite a few bunkers I put on this one. This hole turned out pretty well, but you guys will have to tell me what you think about 7, 8, and 9. I will end up playing it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. Okay. So, and you also try to, I'm going to talk a bit more about blind tee shots, blind approach shots once I start going through my hole again. That'll be next, but just trying to make sure you have as many clear shots as you can. You can have blind shots, but you don't want an overabundance of them. You work hard designing and making things look nice, and then you don't want to hide them with blind shots. How did I miss that? Okay, here's 7, 8, 9. So here's kind of where I think I still need some work, but I don't know. So here is a long, almost 600 yards. You can go left or you can go right. Left makes the hole a bit longer, but it's a bit safer. But still, the Banjo likes 6 the best. Well, that's good. I think that was my second. I like that one my second best. I'm gonna go to the left here. But yeah, 7, 8, and 9 here. I think they need something. I don't know. Maybe you guys can give me some feedback here. Okay. side hill lie. Gotta get it over that bunker. That'll work. Yep. And then it's a short pitch to a 2-tiered green. There we go. I know I love the boulders, and if you'll see here, I'll show you, I kind of hit them. I got more boulders. Love my boulders. But, you know, I'm trying to put them in so they work. I don't want to just put a boulder there to put a boulder there. I want to make them look out of place. Okay, that's 7. Here's 8. I think turned out okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being hard on myself, but this one's actually looking better the more I play it. At first I hated it. I almost quit after making this hole. I was just like, this doesn't work. But I feel like I can't give up on this one. I need more boulders. You know, I was thinking about lots of boulders on 7 on that hill there. I might end up going back. Though we'll see. Okay. Did I make it there? Come on. Redemption, you like? Yeah, that's the part I like about 8, is just the water feeding in. I don't know if I quite... I feel like it has more potential than what I've done with it, but maybe that's just me. Okay, 9. 9 I think is my weakest of the bunch. I will definitely be going back to this hole. It's not bad. I don't know. Split fairway. Redemption, maybe on 7, make a creek running alongside on the right. That's an interesting idea. I have to go back and look and see if that's doable. I like that idea, actually. So yeah, this is 9. It's my clubhouse area is a bit of a work in progress. It's not going to be spectacular from this side, but from 18 it's going to look really nice. I'll show you once I putt out here. No, not quite. Okay, so there's my front 9 so far. Okay, 10. Well, the tee box area is going to change, but let's just see how it plays so far. Again, no planting's been done on this yet, but let's see what we got so far. Okay, so see how we've got a second shot right now as is a bit blind. I want to have more of a sweeping downhill so you can see the green. And that's just going to take a little bit more lowering. Yeah, you know what? I've seen enough for that. It needs a lot of work still. I'll show you my 18 view. So obviously I'm going to have to do some more planting around the clubhouse, but this is 18 green here. It'll be a nice look on top, perched on top of the hill. Yeah, that's going to look good. Okay, Redemption, you suggested creek running alongside the right here. Like this. Like all the way to here. I could feed it into this other lake, possibly. You know what? That might spruce up the back of the green a bit. I'm going to make a note of that. Redemption, you think you might have helped me out here? I'm going to put that on the to try list. Do I place down all 18 holes first? Yes, I do. I started off by doing one at a time. But I found way too many times I would literally design myself into a corner, and then I ended up not getting the holes I wanted because of that. But when you put 18 all down right away, it's a lot easier for you to move your holes around. I don't know. I just find that way easier. Okay, let's make a note here. Creek to the right on 7. Good idea. Fix that another time. So yeah, like as you can see, I've already put down the framework for. And what I did here on this course, is I did the lighting first. I liked this lighting originally, and I tried to count how many of the holes are going into this nice lighting. Like that one is, that one is, that one is. 4 isn't. 5 is. 6 is okay. 7, the lighting's not good. 8, the lighting's nice. 9, the lighting is not good. So really, like 6.5 of those 9 holes are playing pretty nicely in the light. And then here on 10, 10's playing nice. 11's playing nice. 12 is not nice. So I'm trying to maximize the amount of holes that, look good in terms of direction. And then 14, 15, I got to make my way back to the clubhouse, so unfortunately I'm going to have 3 holes with some iffy lighting. And then 17 and 18 will be nice. This is going to be a nice hole. I've got some good ideas for 18 here. But you'll have to find out once I publish. Okay. Yes, thank you for the suggestion, Redemption. That's going to help me immensely, I think. I'm going to have to try it out and see if it works at a later date. Okay, so we've done kind of the boring stuff. Now let's do kind of the more interesting stuff. Let's do the tee boxes now. Okay, so to do my tee boxes, I start by putting the size down to 0. So I have no tee box. And I end up making my own tee box out of green. Because now I can alter how far up I want my tees to be. Sometimes you want them a little bit further up to give the person a better view off the tee. So here it's not quite in the middle, but I don't really want it in the middle. And when you're playing, no one can tell that your tees are moved up like that. So, yeah, I'm going to stick like that. Little layer of rough. Okay, so that's one. I'm just doing 3 tee boxes here. Now, when you're thinking about dummy tees, think about it, in real life. You want to make the front tees easier. So would it be easier to put the tees to the left? Well, no, because it's going to be more of a corner cut. So for me, it just seems natural to put the dummy tees splaying out to the right here. It just opens up the hole for those people that theoretically may be playing this course. So, just a minor thing to consider. So, we'll deal with the elevation in a second. I'm going to get rid of this stupid rock so I'm going to place it over it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Then I'll hold on a second. Is that crooked? No, that's fine. Okay, this way, I'm going to put this one up here. It's a bit of a forward tee. Change the direction a bit. Okay, so now, of course, they're uneven. Now we got to flatten these things. This is basically the only time I'm going to use the sharp flattening tool, because you need to have a flat tee box. Okay, so here I'm going to raise it up a little bit. A ton. Like that. And then like that. I'm going to lower this a little bit. Okay. I'm liking the look of this tee box, actually. Okay. I might end up keeping a lot of that foliage. Sometimes I like a smooth look off the tee, but you know, like these bushes are gonna go. You don't want them right in front. Same with this one. There. Okay. Well, that's better. Now, in terms of, you know, I like to make a little rest area on each hole. And I like to make this as kind of realistic as possible. Like, you don't ever really see ball washers and stuff right on the tee box. So I'll show you what I've been doing. I kind of like how it looks. I just make a little square patch. Right, you know, depends. Sometimes I put it closer to the back tees. Sometimes I move it up. You know, like here I think I'll put it, you know, kind of in line with number 1. Let's just do it there for now. Okay. And lay down some rough. This is going to be my little refuge area. Okay, and now I'm going to make some pathways with the rough. Now some people like to do these, some people don't. It's all a matter of preference. I like to make some little pathways to the tee boxes. They're going to get, that one's obviously going to be flattened. Okay, so try to kind of work with the hill. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know, something like this. There. Yeah, sure, that's fine for now. And I think I'll connect them like this. I change up how I do this. And then I'm just going to have it coming out this side. Okay, then I got to get it and do some flattening. Okay, so that's, you know, it's looking like a nice little tee box area. But needs some help. Needs a bit of flattening here. Soft brush. Okay, now I'm going to have to re-flatten some things here to do this. Does that still keep everything flat? Yes, but I want to raise a bit of this. So yeah, it's a lot of playing around a little bit with it. Raise the tee box up a little bit. This one a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to add, you know, the little things. And I save the planting for last. Nope, global. Furniture. I'm just going to lay down a bench. Bench, trash can, ball washer. And then on the par 3s I add a water cooler. Fairly simple. And I just put a ball washer here. That's all I do. And then, you know, on this course I'm putting dummy tees. For some reason I'm putting green in the middle. I don't know why. You can't really notice what color they are from here. I'm using these tees. Green, and then red for the ladies' tees. I don't overly concern myself about blind tee shots with these dummy tees. Like, who really cares? But I am concerned about blind shots. Like here, right now, you have no idea that there's a bunker there, and we have to fix that. So, let's just take a look at the tee, what our tee shot looks like for now. So again, we're going to work on some planting around here. Okay, so, see, I have no idea that there would be a bunker there, which I don't like. We got to fix that. A few ways you can fix that. We can lower a good chunk of the fairway, or we can raise the bunker up. Now, I think, well, we're going to play around with this. So in order to raise the bunker up, I like to use a special brush that I don't use for anything else. It's this one. And I just like to raise up the back part of the bunker just a bit. Is that going to help? Maybe. Let's look at the tee box. See, we can just start seeing it. But, it's still not enough for my liking. So we're going to, in addition to that, we're going to have to lower some fairway. And again, do not lower stuff using these sharp brushes. It just looks ugly. There's some cases where you can do it, but I would avoid it as much as you can. Okay, so I'm going to drop this down a touch. See how now I'm opening up where now I can see that bunker. Now you don't want to see how I'm kind of affecting. I'm going to have to go back and reflatten the tee box, but let's just reflatten this. Okay. Now let's take a look and see what we've got. Okay, now I just got to make sure I haven't affected anything else. Now let's see what our view off the tee looks like. Can we see that bunker? We can. See, we can see that bunker now? We know it's there. So now it's in. Now we can see that it's in play. This is GeForce 750. Now, from what I recommend, if you want to play this game nicely with a laptop, you're gonna have to spend major money. Like, I'll be honest, sounds ridiculous, but I could have bought a cheap PC, but I knew I wanted to play this game on PC, so I spent probably about $500 more than I wanted just so I could play this game. And I can play other like I can play, like I have Far Cry and stuff, and I can play that at pretty much full settings. And Tomb Raider I can play at full settings. But it's just this game just a graphics hog, and apparently if you want to buy a laptop with this game, you're probably gonna be looking to spend $1,500 to $2,000, which is pricey. Like this one cost just under $1,000 in Canada, and runs the game pretty well. Ultimately, I'm gonna want to upgrade. Okay, so I'm not quite satisfied with the look. I want to put that bunker a little bit more down. Now I'm starting to think I want to add another bunker here. I think that lone bunker is just fine. I think that's all I need. Yeah, maybe another bunker there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Put another bunker there? Let's leave it for now. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Laptops, yeah, gaming laptops are expensive. Oh, I forgot an important step. Okay, so you remember I put the heavy rough all the way down to 0? And you see how I've got this brown look around the bunkers? I do not like that at all. So what I do, I'm going to add to heavy rough, and I'm just going to go around the bunkers. Doesn't have to be super even. Just add some heavy rough. See, to me that looks much better. And I'm also going to go around and add a little bit of heavy rough all around the fairways. I forgot about this tedious part. I basically have a checklist in my head through every hole. It's about a 10 or 11 step process. But we're getting there. And we still haven't done the fun part yet, for me, which is the planting. That really gives your whole character. Okay. So now I'm just going to go through and just add a touch of heavy rough. I don't want the grass just rubbing right up against the fairway. So, just gives it a bit cleaner look. But it depends what you're going for. If you want a more rugged look, then like Reeb did with his Bison Run. He's got more of a natural, he does a really good job of the heavy rough and the real brown stuff and the light rough. He just does a great job of making that look natural. Okay. Oh, I don't wanna... Oh yeah, I forgot about that stuff. Well, that's not gonna be a huge deal. I don't want to go through and delete all that. So I'm gonna take the lazy way out. Okay. Soft oblong brush with your heavy rough gives a nice subtle blend versus hard. Huh, interesting. You're probably right. Well, you are right. Like this one. Let's try it. Yeah, I get the same effect. So we're just gonna make our way around. I should probably be using this brush. Good call, guys. I think I'm liking how this hole is shaping up, actually. Yeah, that actually does give it a bit more natural look. So I'm going to get rid of this deep grass. So here I'm going to definitely get rid of some of this. All the way around. So I'm not being incredibly, perfectionist with this. Perfectionist? That's not the right way to say it. You know what I mean. Wow, it's 7 o'clock already? Time flies when you're designing. I actually have a Friday night. Girlfriend has plans, so I get the night to myself, which I'm not complaining about. Okay, there. Now I've laid it down. So, it looks good so far. It still needs a lot of work. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit of heavy rough around here as well. Alright, Banjo, thanks for watching. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, we're going to do this a little bit. Not too much, because I want to keep some of that rugged look. Something like this. Keep a little bit of that. Oh yeah, I haven't connected that yet. Okay. Something like this. How does that look? That's a bit better. Okay. Lower this. I want to make the tee shot look as nice as possible. You don't want annoying hills just getting in the way. This has got to be raised up. That it looks a little too unnatural. Okay, something like that. Yeah. Alright. Let's connect this. And then we're going to start planting some trees, bushes, and grass. So as you can see in terms of my, object meter, I'm halfway through and I'm a little over a quarter. So I've got plenty of wiggle room, but I don't want to overplant, because Reeb had some issues there. Redemption, do you play much on Xbox One or mainly stick to Steam? I do all my designing and all my videos on PC. I'm starting to do more playing on PC now too, but I have some buddies I play with on Xbox, so I usually play some rounds on there. And I'm in a console Xbox league as well, so yeah, I play. I mix it up. I like playing on both systems. Okay, so now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to do some planting. Right now it looks super bare. Now I'm wondering, still thinking about putting a huge frickin' lake right here. It just seems too empty for me. Maybe not huge, but I don't know. Let's work with some trees first. Okay. Favorite trees? Well, I love the elm trees. And also, I like to put my trees behind a bush. I like to hide my tree trunks on, not all of them, but some. Okay, so I'm just gonna, play. Nothing really in mind. But I'm just gonna mix up some sizes. I don't want to overplant. Boreal, that's where you're putting a lot of trees. But this countryside theme, it seems like the less the better. I never thought I would. I never thought I would be wanting to design a course with not. I love trees, so it's hard for me to. I'm basically planting all the trees on this course by hand. Okay, I kind of like the look on the left. It's pretty good, but it definitely needs some help on the right. So I don't want to make it look like it's an exactly straight line. So put some trees that are out of range a bit. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky around the greens, because you don't want to put too much. I'm going to change that pin placement too, but this is where most people are going to notice you're planting around the greens. So, you know what? I'm going to go with a pretty simplistic look around the greens. Not too many trees. Okay, so it's looking a little naked here, all around here. This needs something, and I don't know if just trees are going to do it. Let's just take a look. Let's go back. We still need some planting in here. All these stupid auto-gen rocks. Change those up. There we go. Okay, let's add a few more trees to the mix. I'm not a huge fan of these trees, but, they're a good default tree. I don't want to hide my bunker too much. The willows I'm using a little bit, but only around the water. I like to put a bush, kind of hide my. Plant another bush there. I don't know. It's kind of whatever works. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out if I want to put a lake there. Okay, it looks not too bad right now. I think I need a bit more help over here. Okay. It needs something. This needs something. Okay, I'm gonna save. I haven't saved yet, oh my god. That'd be horrible. Save often. Don't save once an hour like I just did. Okay, so before I make a major decision, like I want to put a huge lake here, I make sure I save it, because, you know what, there's a chance I'm going to hate it, and then instead of me just having to go and delete everything, it's going to be much easier. So, let's lay down a lake. It's going to be a big one, because I've got quite a bit of water over here, and then the rest of the course is, pretty bland. So I might actually make a chain of lakes or something. Okay. Something like this. Oh, did I mess my bunker up there? No. Okay. Yep, I like this already. Like it already. Just that look there is nice. Okay. Let's maybe edge that out a bit. Yep, I like it. See, this just oh, I love it now. I wasn't quite sure, but now that adding that water there just does it for me anyway. So I think that lake is good there for now. I might add another lake over here later, but that's good. And I'm going to keep that same clean look. And I do that with heavy rough. And I just heavy rough the crap out of this. There, and I get a nice clean look. I'm going to have to delete all those rocks because I'm going for that clean look. Yeah. Yeah, Redemption, you agree? The make water. Yeah, I think it makes the course look. So yeah, sometimes you can be an hour into your hole and just all of a sudden you just try something and you're like, whoa, that worked really well. So yeah, I'm just gonna, it doesn't look good right now, but I'm gonna blend it a little bit more later. But I just want to get that look down right now. That shoreline. All the way around the lake. Oh, yeah. I went from, you know, like, this is an okay hole to now I love it. Needs work still, but like this is a bit too big of a steep slope for me here. Right, lower this down a bit. There. I'm just trying to plan ahead. Okay. Alright for now. Now, I wonder if I put a willow right on the tree line there. How that would look. Right here. Something like that. Like it. Maybe another one at the back here. Oh yeah, I like how this is shaping up. Really like how this is shaping up. Okay, I'm gonna delete some of these rocks. I might get to the plant. I might do a little bit more planting, but I just want a clean look around water on this course. Usually I plant all around my water and make it look rugged. But for this course, I don't like that. Okay, that's fine for now, because we're just working on this hole. Okay. Okay, we still need something in here, though. A few trees. Or, thinking about putting one of my signature boulders in here. I don't think that's going to work there. Don't want to overdo it with those boulders. Okay, a few more trees. Yeah, I'm kind of just putting them just behind some bushes. I like that look a little bit better. Elm tree there, maybe. There. Except the size is a bit. Oh, I don't want the same tree. There. How are we doing so far here? Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I don't know how scruffy I want this to look. I might do some grass around here. Yeah, so now I'm just, hiding the tree trunks a bit. Adding a little extra vegetation. Okay. So that's okay. It's still not quite where I want it to be yet, though. Also, I know I have to... Let's play this hole first. Because I still think my second shot is blind, and I don't want it to be. I could have just put play from here, I just realized, but oh well. Let's just see the look off the tee. I'm liking the look off the tee. I still think it needs something on the left. Oh, look. Still gonna be okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I know where I need to lower it now. Still a very blind second shot, so this needs to be dropped down a touch. Again, I'm going to save it. I currently like the look. And I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, because I'm, pretty much done in terms of the tips and stuff. Now it's just tinkering. Okay, so there, I'm just going to drop it down a bit. Yeah, I gotta drop this down a little bit. I want it to look gradual. Is that better? No, let's try it again. I just want to make sure I can hit a tee shot and then have a decent second shot in here. Okay. There we go. And I think after this will be done. I'm going to take a little break, and I got to get in a couple practice rounds for the next week's tournament. Let's see. That's better. See? Now I've got an open shot. I can see my green. It's all good. Downhill. Now I still haven't done anything with the green. Right now it's still currently flat, which obviously has to change. Well, it's actually got a bit of undulation in it, but we definitely have to make sure it's not over undulated. Actually, it's not bad right now as it is. No, it's still flat. Okay. I'm almost at the point where I would consider it to be acceptable. Okay, so I got some yellow there, but that might be a bit too much. See, that's going to be a bit unfair for the golfer because they're going to roll it on, and then with a 3-wood, it's more than likely just going to roll off to the back, which is a bit unfair. I might put the pin at the front and not have a steep of a tier here. Yeah, see, that's still, I gotta just flatten this whole thing and start over. Start it over. Just flatten this. I want to raise it up a little bit. There we go. Just a bit of a raised green. Okay, so right now it's dead flat. Ooh, hold on a second. Let's try that again. Not a ton, like that. Okay. Oh, the hell? It's not gonna work. There's some issues here. Gotta fix them. Gotta fix them. Okay. So, this has gotta be flattened. I'm the worst at doing greens. This is probably my weakest part. Probably why I save it to last. I suck at them. Okay, we'll flatten it this way. Okay. No, I didn't really... Can we see that back? I can see that. Just barely see that back. Bunker. Let's just raise the lip a bit. That's probably enough. There. Okay. Getting a touch lazy with this, but again, it's all stuff I can go back and fix. Okay, I'm gonna throw some brakes in. I'm not really good at this part. Just kind of put brakes wherever. It's kind of probably not the way to do it. I'm gonna have a pretty subtle brake. Let's have it brake to the front. I don't know. Sure, why not? Okay, let's do a playthrough here. Takes a while to make a decent golf hole. I don't know how long I've been streaming for. How long have I been streaming for? An hour and a half. That's about average for me. Par 5s usually take the longest, which is why I'm always feel good when I finish a par 5. They're the hardest to make, I think. Okay. So I can see all three. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now my big test of the greens. And I forgot one more tiny detail. I forgot to put in my 150 yardage. Or my yardage markers. Okay. Let's just chip on. We'll see how decent these greens are. Don't chip in. Okay, good. Are we too flat, overly flat? Oh, that's fine. I don't want... I'm not attempting to make this course overly difficult, so that's perfect. I'm happy with that. This is an acceptable hole for me. Acceptable means when I finish, I go back to each hole and fine tune it a bit. But I'd say it's like 90% done. 95 even. So my last little thing is make my little yardage markers at 200. $200, $50, $150. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully, you guys gave me a few ideas, and hopefully I gave you a few ideas. So, I know I didn't have a ton of viewers, but that's okay. It's not the most exciting stuff in the world. Still a few people stuck around and hung out, and I appreciate it. So, if you guys like these, I will turn on Twitch a little more often with my designing. Okay, that is a golf hole from scratch. I like how it turned out. It's one of my stronger holes. Yeah, still needs a little work with the planting, but it'll do. Alright guys, I'm going to turn Twitch off for now. Thanks very much for watching, and happy designing.